Hey, everybody, guess what? We're live this afternoon, and I've got Scott Hamilton with me. I'm so excited because it feels like at least once a year we get to connect. Although this year it's a little different. We're doing it virtually, but it's still good to see you. How are you doing this afternoon?
Still here? It's been great because, my whole, like all of us, our whole world was just sort of like squished,
Yeah.
and I haven't really worked since January. This Live Your Days .com, this Live Your Days platform was actually created 4 years ago, but I just didn't feel it was the right time. And so when COVID kind of kicked in and we're quarantined, 5x5 agency that I work with, they called me up and they go, now? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I think people really need some solid encouragement and a reminder that, no matter what's going on in the world, these are our days and we have to live them, and we have to live them joyfully, productively, abundantly. We just have to figure it out and just take really stock of, all the great things in our life and just move forward in all of that. So, so we've launched a couple days ago, and
yeah, I know, just
running now.
Let's back up a little bit because you kind of got ahead of me. Live Your Days, that's a new thing, inspirational, so to speak, that you just launched this week. It's got a podcast, and what else?
It's a podcast. We have a 30-day challenge, which is really fun. I'm doing it. And it's not like a challenge, like go run a marathon or anything like that. No, it's like day one. And I've got my little book right here. It's, day one is, name 3 things I'm most grateful for. It's kind of building those muscles of gratitude, building those muscles of really being more intentional about, recognizing the good things, because we're reminded endlessly how horrible everything is. And it's like, no, honestly, it's crazy what this world can offer us if we just choose to look at it in a way that it's like, well, this is good, I'm going to do more of that. And this is bad, I'm going to do less of that, and when things disrupt us, we have those muscles that we're able to kind of go, I'm going to be okay. I have a shirt that I like to wear that says, this too shall pass. And, I've been through enough medically and, kind of in my, kind of like loser years where I kind of understand what today is doesn't have to be tomorrow. What today is today. And we can still find something there that can feed us and give us joy, no matter what our circumstances, and really, I've met too many people and I've lived too much in this life to understand that we're a product of our circumstances. We're more a product of our choices. And so I choose to kind of like be okay. I got a brain tumor right there. I don't know if you can see it. But I'm living with it day to day, and it's like, okay, fine. I'm not going to allow it to rob me of my love for my family and my love of my community and my love of my life. And I'm just going to choose that, and again, it goes back to the understanding that I got 4 years ago when we kind of thought of this platform, that our bodies are incredibly vulnerable, fragile to many different things, but they're phenomenally resilient and ultimately temporary. So knowing that,
right.
let's go to what's really going to give our lives quality and joy. And it's like, that's basically that whole thing. So we have the podcast, we have the 30-day challenge, and this is just in the initial launch. And we've got a store that's got some really fun merchandise where if people buy that and remind themselves to live their days, as just a really good reminder, kind of the carpe diem of now. The proceeds, some of the proceeds go to cancer research, so we can help others live more of their days by ultimately curing cancer.
Yeah. You always have such a great attitude and positive outlook. How did you come about to that? Was it always that easy for you? Like, I always feel so uplifted when I talk to you. Was it
Oh,
always that
thank
way?
you. You know, it's like cancer was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me. You know, I always say if you really compare the lives and the people's ability to really understand the power of who they are and you know the joy in their lives of cancer survivors and compare them to people that have won the lottery.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, you know, cancer survivors are more alive than they've ever been. And a lot of times when people are given incredible good fortune or fame or whatever, it can crush them. And I was kind of that person. I was, you know, Stars and Ice started off as this thing. I worked really hard and we kept it alive and we kept growing. And then all of a sudden Christy Yamaguchi joins us. And it's like now we're doing 60 cities and you know, it was just the popularity and more people wanted to come and join our cast. And with Katarina Bitt and Torvald Dean and Gordy Van Grakoff. And it's like, are you kidding me? And we're selling out arenas and we're having this big life and we're traveling by jet and all these things. And I was like miserable. You know, I was just like, this is it. And then I got cancer and it was like, wow, this is unbelievable. I can really participate in this and I can try to make it better. And I can, you know, get up every day with a new swing thought, and that is fund cancer research. And if I can find a cure for the cancer that took my mother's life, and it's like, wow, I'll know I was born. And all these things start happening. And you know, I'm more alive now than I've ever been. And everything that I was taking for granted now is at risk. And it's like, I can appreciate that more. And so, you know, I have that where I can compare it to something. I've lost competitions. I've won competitions. Um, you know, I've had good things. I've had good jobs, and I've been fired from jobs. You know, I'm in a great marriage and family situation now, and I've failed at a mountain of relationships. So, you know, I have something to compare it to, and I just feel like so many people get crushed under their life circumstance or their, unfortunate things that have happened where, you know, honestly, living your days is sort of a choice. You know, it's just sort of
That's
like,
true.
it's a choice.
Right. And right now, I feel like every day we all have to make a choice because you may end up getting sick right now, or you may have a family member that gets quarantined, or you may not be able to travel right now. Or
well, I mean, it's like, and again, it's like I'm the most at-risk person on the planet, probably. But the more we know about the virus, the less there is to fear, right? And you know, in the beginning, it seemed like it was really super like strong, and a lot of people succumbed to it. And now it's like we just saw the president go through it, and you know, he was diagnosed and he was treated, and now he's back to full workload. And I can't see that, buddy. I'm too small. Yeah, sorry. My son just walked in from school. Good day.
I got an A on my English.
A in the English. We're going to celebrate that in such a profound way. Like, you are now my favorite child.
Thanks.
hey,
right.
A in English.
So-
That's awesome.
No, you have no idea. So it's like, but it's like all these things. It's like, it's the devil we know. And I don't want people, because of, like, I'm a high risk guy, right? As far as I know, it's America. We're responsible for our own lives. And yes, it's great that we have people trying to protect us, but at what cost?
Right.
You know, and so I don't want people to lose their businesses because of somebody. Like, I choose to be careful, and I choose to do all the washing my hands, and I choose to wear a mask when I need to, and when I don't, I don't. And they really don't work. But it's beside the fact that it's like,
Don't get me in trouble.
I know. We're all in trouble because guess what? We're all in trouble.
Yeah.
But it just comes down to, no, we don't need to be doing this. We need to get back to our work and get back to our lives and get back to engaging. And my poor sons, right? My one in particular is in a mask 40 hours a week. And now we're learning that they're getting strep throat and bacterial infections and all these things from these masks. And it's like, people, it's okay. We don't need to live in fear. We need to live in joy and in hope and in abundance. And we just need to choose that life. We
Yeah.
really do. And so the whole idea of Live Your Days is it's meant to inspire and entertain and to get people, kind of in that mode of the 30-day challenge of really building contentment into their lives. And if we can build gratitude and contentment and to understand the quality points of our lives, then we can able, shrug off the things that are bringing us down. I had one of the first years of Stars on Ice, we worked with a choreographer named Karen Kresge, and it would be like, I'm a little sore today. She goes, don't sweat the small stuff. Let's get to work. Thank you for that. It's like we're back to, but I mean, COVID has been big, and I feel for the families that have lost loved ones. Man, I've walked with many friends who have lost, their parents or grandparents to this disease, and it's like, I think we've done the best we can do under profoundly outrageous circumstances. But in this platform, in this movement that I'm really trying to create to Live Your Days, it's a reminder that as long as we have breath in our lungs, let's live.
Yeah.
And let's choose to do things for others and to be in a joyfully sacrificial. And in another way, be busy and I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, do it. It's kind of that. And I'm like NBC and CBS and all the Olympics I've ever done, they go, don't let Scott do an interview. He's terrible. And I'm having a blast doing these podcasts. And I have a feeling that, this is something I want to be doing for a long time, because these conversations and what we learn about these people is extraordinary and really interesting and inspiring in a way.
Yeah.
Just the one we did today was Allison Sweeney of Days of Our Lives and The Biggest Loser. And she's been a friend for a long time. She's married to a police officer. She has 2 kids. She's got work-life balance. And it's learning, just how she does it, that it's kind of like, wow, she has her challenges. And she's, a big Hollywood celebrity. And she's a real person.
Right.
And she gets it. And it's like, yeah, thank you for giving me permission that, it's hard to to do everything. And thank you for giving me permission that, I struggled with this post-birth. And thanks for giving me permission to really build a strong marriage based on this commitment. And thank you. It's all these things that, we learn from people. It's like Robin Roberts, who is our first, big podcast interview, releases next week. Her story is phenomenal. Her father was one of the Tuskegee Airmen. Are you kidding me? And it's just learning about her basketball career and learning about how she turned down her dream job at ESPN because she didn't feel like she was ready yet. And all these things that we learn, we just think that somebody's a success because it's just, well, that's them. Like they're going to be no matter. But it was all the little choices that built into that are really just jaw-dropping and interesting and inspiring. And it's like we don't choose how many days we have, but we can choose how we live them. And that's kind of where we go with all of this. And so it's liveyourdays.com, and there's a 30-day challenge, which isn't, again, it's not a marathon. It's about, taking on these perspectives that allow us to really choose quality and joy in our lives.
Yeah, I really like that. Before you go, I know you've got other things that you got to go celebrate that A right there. I want to talk about the children's book you released, Fritzy Finds a Hat.
It's right.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
There.
Yeah.
It's right there. So it's a beautiful children's book. It's got a couple different identities. It's basically written on the story of how my mom basically told me she had cancer. And she did it in such a way that allowed me to kind of like, how can I help? What can I do, to participate in this? there wasn't really fear or like dread or anything. She goes, "Oh, everybody, I just learned that I have a disease called cancer, and I'm going to need a little help around the house." And that was how she told us. And we just felt like, cancer numbers are, kind of going up, survivorship's going up, but it's still a tough thing to talk about with your kids.
Right.
How do we give parents, that kind of that soft place to land for their kids in this, this subject? 1 in 2 women, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer in this country. So it's, it's also for kids, it's about, really, I can help my parents with a problem? Wow, that's empowering. So Fritzy Finds a Hat, it's out there. We hope people pick it up. And, we split the proceeds of the book purely between CARES, my cancer foundation, to fund innovative research that treats the cancer and spares the patient harm, and the Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa, Florida. They're an amazing institution, and it's for their patient services. And so it's to do good while we're doing good. So we hope people will pick it up.
Quick question about that. You had a friend help illustrate that, Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
How did that come about? I've seen him draw before. Actually, if you ever go to Williamson
He's a
Medical,
great artist.
Yeah, if you go to Williamson Medical in the children's area, he has a whole wall that he's done some cartoons.
The mural in Bridgestone Arena is him and Rob Hendon.
That's right.
So Brad loves art, and he's really good. And he's basically the reason we moved to Nashville. We were friends with him in LA, and we didn't want to raise our son in LA. And Brad goes, "Why don't you come to Nashville?" I go, "Okay." So we spent 4 days with them, and it was like, this will work. So we moved to Nashville. We've been here almost 16 years. So it's one of those things where, I went to him and I go, "Hey, I'm doing this children's book. Do you want to do some illustrations?" And he goes, "Sure." How's that? So, it just kind of, I feel like Forrest Gump at times where, I just, things happen. And this was a great thing for Brad and his boys. They each did a panel, a hat. And, it's been fun to share that with him because, like everyone else, he's had loss in his family, lost his Aunt Rita to cancer. And it means a lot to him to serve the cancer community in some way.
Right. I think all of us can say that we've known someone or had a family member or someone close to us. Unfortunately, we can say we've lost someone to cancer.
But we can change that. We can. And, we will.
Yeah. Live your days. So great to catch up with you and learn more about this. You guys go check it out. I've seen the book. It's super cute. You guys go check that out too. It doesn't have to be just because you know someone with cancer. It's just a cute book to read.
Thank you, Donna. So
all right. You go celebrate, and we will catch up with you soon. Okay. How are you going to celebrate? Before we go, what do you think he's going to celebrate?
Any way he wants.
Okay.
It's probably food related because he's a
teenage boy. I was going to say. Teenage boy. Food, I'm guessing. All right. Thanks so much. See you guys soon. Bye, Scott Hamilton.
Thank you so much.